Hello all of you. I welcome you all to this session. Today I am going to explain you Simpson's Worthern rule. That is exactly similar to trapezoidal rule. So let us consider y is equal to fx with a function having interval x0 xn which are equally spaced values of arguments as x0 x1 is equal to x0 plus h, x2 is equal to x0 plus twice h up to xn is equal to x0 plus nh. Now we have to find corresponding values of y, like y is equal to f of x0, that means y is a function y is equation with the function of x0. Then y1 is equal to a function of x1, y2 is equal to function of x2 up to yn is equal to function of xn. So using Simpson one-third rule, we can find the value of integration as integration of x0 to xn y of dx is equal to h by 3 into bracket y0 plus yn. This is the first term, this is the last term, plus 4 into y1 plus y3 up to yn minus 1. It is the odd terms, and plus 2 into bracket y2 plus y4 up to yn minus 2. Okay, so this is Simpson's one-third rule. Let us move towards the algorithm for Simpson's one-third rule. So here we have the step 1, that is read x1 and x2, where x1 is the lower limit and x2 is the upper limit. We have to read these values which provides us the limit. Now in step 2, function f of x is given function, calculate f of x1 and f of x2. For the function f of x, we have to put the values of upper limit and lower limit, and we have to calculate the values for x1 and x2, that is function of x1 and function of x2. Once you do this, let us move toward the step 3, that is read n, that is number of steps. N is what? Number of steps. From n you can calculate h, which is quite easy. H is equal to x2 minus x1 divided by n, that is lower limit minus higher limit divided by number of steps. Now in step 5, let us define the sums. Sum 1, sum 2, sum 3 and sum. These variables are equal to what? 0. Get it this? Okay, now see. In this step 6, sum 1 is equal to sum 1 plus f of x plus f of x2. We have to equate the functions which can be calculated by using the upper limit and lower limit, and that is what? Sum 1. These functions are equated as a sum 1. Now I is equal to what? 1. Okay, the value of I is equal to what? 1. Now sum 2 is equal to what? Sum 2 into 2 plus 4 into x2 into I plus h. That means we have calculated this term. Okay, this term is calculated here. Now I is equal to I plus 2, and it is checked that value of I is less than n minus 1. If it is so, go to step 2, repeat the steps. If it is not, then move to next step, that is I is equal to what? 2. Now sum 3 is equal to sum 3 plus 2 into f of x1 into I plus h. That means we have calculated the next value, that is sum 3. Okay, that means this value. Okay, this value 2 into y2 plus y4 minus yn minus 2, this value is calculated. Okay, now let us move towards the next step, that is step 13. What is that? I is equal to I plus 2. So in this step 14, we have to compare the condition I is less than n minus 2. If it is not so, move to step 12, otherwise move further, that is step 15. That is what? Sum is equal to sum plus h by 3 into sum 1 plus sum 2 plus sum 3. So whatever we calculated, that is added here. Okay, and that value is nothing but the value of integration, that is our Simpson's one-third formula. So integrated value can be stored in step 15. Now that value can be printed, that is sum, the integrated value, Simpson's one-third solution is printed by using the statement print sum. Okay, and we have to stop here. So this is what? Algorithm. Now let us move towards the next point, that is what the Simpson's 1/3 rule flow chart. So let us start with the first one, that is start. Here you have the start of the flow chart. Then you have to read the value of x1 and x2, that is lower and higher limit. Once you read that value, you have to read the iteration, that is n number of steps. Once you read that value, now you have the value of x1, you have the value of x2, and that is iteration, that means step n. Then you can easily calculate h is equal to x2 minus x1 upon n. Now here you have to define the sums. Sum is equal to 0, sum 1 is equal to 0. Here you have that sum 1 is equal to what? 0. Sum 2 is equal to 0 and sum 3 is equal to 0. Now in next step, we have to calculate the sum 1 by using sum 1. Now sum 1 is 0. 0 plus f of x1, that is the function for lower limit, plus f of x2, function for higher limit. Okay, now here you have to check. What you have to check here? Okay, now see it is remain. What you have to check, that is the condition I is less than n minus I or not. Otherwise it is not. I is equal to I plus 2, and you have to move here. If it is so, you have to move this step. This is what? This is a connector. हे connector आहे. Okay, by checking this this value, the flow will be here. Is it? Okay. Now here sum is equal to sum 2 is equal to sum 2 plus 4 into f of x1 plus I plus into what? h, I into h. This is the term which is included in some Simpson's 1/3 rule. Again you have to check the condition for I is equal to 2I less than n minus 2, I is equal to I plus 2. If the value is less than, okay, then you have to move here. If it is not so, you have to move here, otherwise it will be executed. That is what? Sum 3 is equal to sum 3 plus 2 into what? F of x1 plus I into h. Okay, now finally the sum, that means integration value of Simpson 1/3 is calculated here by using the formula sum is equal to sum plus h by 3, sum 1 plus sum 2 plus sum 3, and finally whatever you have the value that can be printed by using the print sum, and you have to stop. Okay, now let us move towards the program. This is the program for Simpson's 1/3 rule. Okay, so here the title is given to find the value of integration using Simpson's 1/3 rule. Here you have the Simpson's 1/3 rule. Okay, you know these files are included here because you have the function which belongs to maths or standard input and output value will be calculated. Here these are the library file. So function will be defined here. What is the function? Square root of 1 minus x square. Okay, this is the main branch of your program. Here initially I and n integer value will be defined. Okay, next the values x0, xn, h, xi, x1 is equal to 0, x2 is equal to 0, x3 is equal to 0. These are the float values. Float is assigned to these values. Then so after defining the integer and float value, we have to print the value of x0, xn by using the printf function. Similarly, the values can be taken in by using the scanf function. So that's why we are using printf and scanf statement here. Next, you just observe h is equal to xn minus x0 divided by n. Upper limit, lower limit can be subtracted from the upper limit and divided by the number of iteration, and the value is what? H. Next is what? Sum 1 is equal to sum 1 plus f of x0, f of xn. That is the function with higher and lower limit can be added and assigned to the same one. Now the condition is checked for I is equal to 0. If the value of I is less than n minus 1, the I is incremented by 1. X is equal to x0 plus I into h. The value of x is calculated here. Now s2 can be calculated by using this value, that is the function fx will be calculated with this value and added to the assigned to the s2. Again the condition is checked. Okay, now see the condition is checked and I is incremented, okay, then x will be calculated by using x0 plus I into star h, that is I into h, okay. I is incremented here. Now this value can be put it in the function, and function will be calculated for the value of x, f of x, and it will be assigned to s3, okay. Finally, by using the Simpson's 1/3 rule, I, that is integration, will be calculated as h by 3 into s1 plus 4 of s2 plus 2 of s3. Once you obtain the Simpson's 1/3 rule integration value, it will be printed on your screen, and you have to stop for your program. Is it? So with this we are finished our last chapter, okay. Now if you have any problem, then talk to me. Let us stop now.